Happy Friday! It's Fun Flavor Friday. I'm hoping you guys are in a Friday mood too. We're going to start out with Lily's chocolate, and I'm going to use the salted caramel. Now, if you guys saw I posted, it's 5 squares. Now, that might sound startling, but if you've never seen Lily's, the little squares are very, very small. So this is 5 squares. So it's 1 row of the chocolate bar. So we're going to start out with 5 squares of the salted caramel, and we're going to add a tablespoon of butter to that. We're going to get that melting up in the microwave. 30 seconds at a time because you don't want to burn the chocolate. It's very similar to the fudge recipe we made, but we're going to use a 14% sour cream, and that's what's going to give it the thicker, denser mousse texture. My butter is starting to bubble. I want to pull it out and then just stir it until my chocolate melts, because you don't want to cook the chocolate. So we're going to give it a stir as it melts, and it's going to mix in with the butter. And the salted caramel is my favorite flavor. But you could do this with all of the chocolates I showed you the other day. So you can do it with unsweetened chocolate chips. You could do it with baker's chocolate and sweetener of your choice. It doesn't have to be the Lily's, but I really like this one, so that's what we're going to use today. So it's nice and melted now. I'm going to move it over so you guys can see the texture of it. Now, this salted caramel one has a little bit of bits in it because of the caramel bits in them. And then we're going to add our sour cream. Now, again, you just want the highest fat, lowest amount of carbs, lowest amount of sugars that you can find, and we're going to mix it in half and half. So I'm going to add in the first tablespoon and start mixing it. And it's the same as when we do our fudge. The texture gets weird, but just trust the process. Just keep stirring, and the texture comes out the way it's supposed to. Sweetener of your choice to taste. When I made it last night, I tried it with the Lakanto sweetener. I did really like that. It did leave it just a slightly bit grainy, but that texture didn't bother me. If it does, then use a liquid drop instead. And I'm going to add 1 packet. Continue mixing that in. And then we're going to add our 2nd tablespoon of sour cream. And what I love about this is it's so quick, it's so easy, it's so decadent, but it's so high fat. So then we're going to add another tablespoon of sour cream and just continue to mix. The more sour cream you add, the heavier, denser the texture of your mousse is going to be. So depending on the texture of mousse that you like, you could stop here or you could add a little bit more sour cream. Instant salted caramel chocolate mousse. And you can see, like, it's got a nice, heavy, dense texture to it. You can chill it as well so that you can pipe it out, but I'm just going to put it into my pretty container and garnish it up. I have some of the original chocolate from Fit Fat Go that I used last night to drizzle on top of. And it's very satisfying. Like, it's something that will really give you that I've had a treat. I've had something really decadent. And I'm going to drizzle some of this on top. Friday. Welcome back to Fun Flavor Friday Part 2. Did my favorite salted caramel chocolate mousse, and now we're going to do a version of that that's dairy free. Did post the recipe for the dairy version, and I'm going to show you guys how to substitute things, how to swap things out, and how you can take some of my recipes and make them fit your personal life, your diet, your goals, and what you want to make. What I had posted was 2 tablespoons of raw cacao butter and 2 tablespoons of sour cream. We're going to use coconut cream instead. So let's get started. Now, I also made this a pralines and cream flavor because from the white chocolate base, you can do just about anything. We could make this an eggnog flavor, a pumpkin spice flavor. It's a nice, good basic. Make it whatever you want. So I'm going to grab out my pralines and cream because that's what I used yesterday, and it was like, oh, it was so good. That good. Okay, so we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of raw cacao butter. Now, I'm going to scoop some of this out, and then I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. This is not cocoa. Cocoa and raw cacao are not the same thing. This is the raw form of white chocolate. So it looks very much like white chocolate, but you can't just eat it like that. It's super, super bitter. So you want to add stuff to it. Here's the beauty. Raw cacao butter is just another good, healthy fat. It melts down like butter or ghee, and you can swap it out in any of your baking recipes. So for your cakes, your muffins, anything that calls for melted butter, you can swap it out with raw cacao butter, and it gives you a really nice white chocolate flavor. So the same as when we do it with chocolate chips and butter, we're gonna put it in the microwave to melt for 30 seconds. So I'm gonna add my first scoop of coconut cream to it, and you wanna add this half and half. So you want to add the first tablespoon, stir it in, and then add the next tablespoon. Just texturally, I find it works better if you do it half and half. Now, with this one, I kind of cut it into the coconut cream before I start mixing because it can be really messy. It can be really messy. The same as with the fudge. You just stick to it and the texture will get there. It's just a mix, mix, mix. Now you could pull out your hand mixer and do this with a hand mixer as well. I just find for a little single serve, that seems like way too much work. So we're gonna keep stirring until we get all the lumps out. This is also how I make a ganache. So if you wanna make a white chocolate ganache, this is how you do this as well. So for your cakes, you can do this as an ice cream crackle as well. It will harden on top of ice cream, which is a really nice treat. So that's our first tablespoon, and it gives us the texture that you would want to use for a ganache, for a cake. Your sweetener of choice to your taste. Our second tablespoon going in there. This is a really, really great option if you can't have the dairy. Almost every recipe I make that calls for heavy cream or sour cream, you can swap out with a coconut cream instead. You could use the coconut yogurt that I make in this. You could use the dairy-free cream cheese that I make in this. Just the options are unbelievable. I'm making a mess here. I should use a bigger bowl when I do these things, but no, that would be too easy, Dory. I'm gonna add just a little bit more so that we get a really nice, thick, heavy mousse. And at this time, I'm gonna add the flavor extract as well. I used 5 drops last night of my pralines and cream. If you're not using the Loran oils, you might want more flavor. These ones are really strong. If you're using just a regular extract, I would say probably about 1/4 teaspoon. To get this all nice and layered in my little cups, I'm going to add a little bit of coconut and a little bit of pecan, and I'm just gonna layer them all, and then I'm gonna put it in the fridge to chill. so that it's a really nice dessert for my dinner tonight. For me. I'm gonna have a pretty dessert for me. So we'll add a couple pieces of pecan. I love this song. We're gonna turn it up just a little bit because, and really you guys are just watching me like put stuff into a cup at this point now. We've already done all the hard work, like. And I'm not cutting anything. I'm not gonna hurt myself dancing around like a jag hole. Okay, so then we're gonna spoon in some of our dairy-free mousse. We can make it whenever we want to. No judging. Good. I love it when you guys don't judge me. I don't judge you. You don't judge me. We are like the most beautiful no judgy circle ever. Like I love it when I'm all like, I'm eating cake for breakfast. Don't judge me. And you're all like, dude, I want cake for breakfast. So I'm gonna let you guys get a nice close look close to your camera there so you can see. There we go. And it has a very light note of white chocolate underneath of the pralines and cream. Man, I don't know. I love the decadent treats. Is it just me? Like, I gotta have it. It's Friday, baby. I gotta have it. What do you guys think? Are you feeling a cocktail this evening? I was thinking maybe something along the lines of a coconut sparkle vodka pina colada. What do you think? I'm thinking yummy. See you guys later. Have an awesome day.